Hello, welcome back. Thanks again for attending the 2021 Embedded Vision Summit. I really enjoyed the presentations yesterday. In case you missed some of them, recordings are now available, and a little bit later, I'll explain how to find them. But first, I wanted to share some of the things that really stood out for me from a few of yesterday's talks. I hope you caught Peter Biel's keynote. I found it quite interesting and thought-provoking. The focus was on how we take AI, in particular deep learning, beyond systems that simply perceive and understand the world around them to systems that use deep learning to direct their actions. As Peter called it, perception action loops. And Peter showed how reinforcement learning is the form of deep learning that's suited for these kinds of perception action applications. For example, autonomous vehicles and various kinds of robots and even things like chatbots. He also showed that reinforcement learning has made tremendous progress in the last few years, overcoming some of its early limitations. For example, using simulation, imitation, and contrastive learning to capture or create action reward data needed to train these kinds of deep neural networks. He also showed how state-based learning can be more effective than pixel-based learning and how state-based learning can be applied to many of today's vision-based problems. He also pointed out that the requirements in terms of accuracy and reliability in typical commercial applications are generally much higher than the requirements to get a research paper published, but he showed at the same time that reinforcement learning solutions are arriving at that higher threshold of accuracy and reliability, at least for some applications, so that they can be deployed in commercial applications like the part picking robot that he showed. I also learned that a robotic hand learned how to manipulate a Rubik's Cube using reinforcement learning strictly by trial and error, which is pretty mind-blowing.